Well, hello everyone. Welcome to a new episode of A Bunch of Losers with me, your host, Derrick Fox. It's been a couple weeks. My life got crazy busy. Also, we had a couple cancellations. The podcast world, sometimes it can get difficult. I'm still figuring it out. We're all new to this, but it's going well, obviously. You guys are enjoying it. But I just wanted to do a special episode, touch base about some things, do some shout outs, and just share with you everything that's going on. I'm coming to you from Dallas, Texas. If you see me wearing the Terry Black's hat, I'm probably in Texas. Gotta support the local fave. Stuff's good. So, before we jump into it, at the end of this podcast, I'm going to ask for some favors. So, stay tuned to that. Also, if you hear any weird noises, it's my little Frenchie. She's running around, sometimes eating, sometimes snorting, or playing with her toys. So you might hear that. We're just coming to you live from the kitchen. Rebel, come here. You want to see my pup? Rebel, come here. This is Rebel the Frenchie. She's like, what's going on? You know what? I'm going to pour myself a drink. Oh, shout out to Fire Department Coffee. They sent me some coffee. It's good. Check those guys out. They are run by firefighters and owned by veterans. Cheers to that. Cheers to you guys. Okay. So, we got some guests lined up. I spoke to a few that you're going to really like. We've also made a goal to get more people from MasterChef and Hell's Kitchen. Also, if you all have someone you want to see, don't tell me, go tell them. Go to their Instagram, tag the podcast, tag me, tell them to come be on this podcast, and that will really help. When fans motivate contestants that have been on these shows, it helps. So, we'll get it done. We'll get them on, but I need your help. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so last week, let's talk about some things as a private chef, what I deal with, what happens. Last week, I had 4 of my 5 nights were dinner parties. The first night, Monday night, I had a guest that is FODMAP. FODMAP is a diet that you avoid foods that cause gas in the stomach, to say it lightly and not so informed about it. I have a cheat app. I use this FODMAP app and I follow it and I make the meal with that. It's challenging. If you're FODMAP, please comment below. Give me some recipe ideas. I'm running out. Then Wednesday night, we had a guest that keeps kosher. So no dairy and meat products together. Yeah, that's an interesting one. How do you guys feel about eating or not eating specific things because of religion? I've never understood it, to be quite honest. So many wonderful things to eat out there, but I do get that people make these sacrifices and it's a part of their faith. Like, to not have a cheeseburger or a pepperoni pizza? I don't know, man. Not judging you. I'm just saying I couldn't do it. And respect for being so disciplined in your faith to avoid such amazing foods that are out there. There's some other things in some of the Jewish hose and some of the Jewish faith, bottom feeders, shellfish, pork, all of it. Man, those are some of my favorite things. Man, so I don't know. Does anyone keep kosher? Comment below. Then Thursday, gluten-free, dairy-free. I actually do gluten-free, dairy-free every night. I have a gluten-free, dairy-free option every night. It's also challenging, but there has been a influx of amazing gluten-free products that have hit the market that have definitely helped to make my job easier. But sometimes you can't find them, so sometimes I'll have to make a gluten-free bun from scratch. That's difficult. Dairy-free, I'm not crazy about a lot of the dairy-free products that are out there. There are two that I've come to like. Forager cashew milk. That one has the least amount of added sweetener, and so you can actually use it in savory recipes. But some of the oat milks, like, you can't use that in mac and cheese or other, milk replacement recipes that are safe. It just messes it up. It tastes weird. I've been torn over the years with dairy and non-dairy products myself, because sometimes I have felt better and then sometimes I don't. And then there's a lot of oils that are in some of these dairy-free milks and products that are not good for you. And we're finding out that these things are packed full of these oils, and these oils are used for, they're the same oils that they lube machinery with. That's something I'm not into. And I think just limiting your dairy intake using natural dairy from cows is probably better than lube from a machine that is being mixed with your oats. I don't know. That's what I think. Friday night, we had guests over that we went full steak night, filet mignon, mac and cheese, sauteed spinach, baked potato, cheesecake. We went all out. It was awesome. I love doing that. The client even texted me today, 4 days later, still thinking about that mac and cheese. And that got me to thinking about, that's the first thing I ever cooked. When I was 7 years old, I made mac and cheese for my brother and I. It was the blue box. Some of you probably heard that story before. And I've gotten a lot better at it, to say the least. Now I make it with I do a bechamel, and I do smoked Gouda, sharp cheddar, mozzarella, some Parmesan, and then I always use shells. I don't like the curly fusilli or elbow pasta. Shells are the best because they act like little cups, and you get the cheese in the cup, and it's a better mouth feel experience. And I never bake it. I do not bake my mac and cheese. If someone wants it baked, I'll bake it for them, but I don't like it that way. I don't know why, but I just don't. I don't like it baked. With that said, I would love to do a little event, if you will. Not a contest, but we could call it a contest. Y'all that are listening, if you cook at home, I would love to see your best macaroni and cheese. You can do whatever you want with it. I'm not going to give you any more rules than the main component has to be mac and cheese. Bake it up, make it up, whatever, however you do it. Post it on Instagram, tag myself and A Bunch of Losers podcast on Instagram, and let me see it. And then I'll pick the best one, the one that I think looks the best, sounds the best, and you'll get a shout out on next week's podcast. How about we give that a try? Also, speaking of shout outs, we all know Michael from MasterChef made it to the finale of All Stars. Michael has 2 cookbooks out. Hold on, I think I got them over here. I think I got them. His first one that he sent me, New Comfort Cooking. And then his newest one, New Keto Dinner in 30. So many great recipes in here. So y'all should go check out Michael's cookbook. Also, Travis from MasterChef Canada, the Nomad Cook on Instagram, one of the leading cannabis chefs in the country. He's going to hate that I called him a leading cannabis chef, but he's also got a cookbook out called Introduction to Culinary Cannabis. Introduction to Culinary Cannabis. I have that book in LA. I can't use it out here in Texas. I got that book in LA, and let me tell you, this book is so organized and so well put together that I actually am excited to try cooking with cannabis, as well as share that with other people. It's so informative and so layered so well that it breaks it down and really gives you a really, really good understanding of, cannabis cooking. So Travis, great job. You can go to his Instagram or you can find it on Amazon. We got Dara, our good friend Dara. She's traveling the world. Clearly she got like a big check from some TV show that she won. This is a bunch of losers, Dara, but I decided to acknowledge that we love seeing your travels. We love you. I mean, that kind of wraps up what's been going on. Valentine's week, the month leading up to Valentine's Day, we had so many cookie orders. That kicked my butt. January was just like a month of catching up. So thank you guys for sticking around and continue watching all of the reels and the shorts and enjoying the content. Lastly, I would love to give a quick shout out to one of our listeners, Cody. Cody reached out to me on Instagram and just let me know that he loves the podcast. He's a truck driver, which you can imagine, being a truck driver, driving around our country, delivering all of the things that we consume. It's a daunting job, and it takes hours and days spent inside of the cabin of a truck. So, Cody, thank you for listening. I hope that this podcast really makes your drive a little bit more enjoyable. I know I can say and speak for many Americans, we are grateful for our truck drivers that bring us all the important things to the silly, dumb things that we have. Your job is not easy, and we appreciate you. So thank you. Well, I wanted to be quick, but I wanted to jump in and say hi, hello. Thank you guys for the support. To recap, make some mac and cheese, post it on Instagram, and tag A Bunch of Losers Podcast and my Instagram so I can see it. I'll pick the best one. I'll pick my favorite, and we'll give you a shout out next week on the pod. Also, I hate to do it. I really tried not to be this guy. But I need you guys to make sure you're liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing. We got to get this podcast out there to more people because it really is entertaining. We're learning so much about people's journeys and what it takes for them to be on a reality competition show. And I'm learning so much about so many different people, and I just enjoy sharing that with you. So I got to be that guy. Please like, subscribe, share, tag your friends, comment. Let's get this podcast growing. I appreciate you. Real quick, make sure the contestants that you want to see on the podcast, you go to their Instagrams and tell them to come be on our podcast. When they see their fans saying, come be on the pod, they'll reach out, they'll respond to our messages. Booking is absolutely the hardest part about the podcast. I don't have Joe Rogan pool. I can't just text everyone and they'll be there in the drop of a hat. We're building this thing. So I need your help. Tag them, let them know. Let's get these people booked and get them on A Bunch of Losers because we want to hear from them. I'm headed back to LA in 2 days, so I need to wrap this up and get packing. Love y'all, and stay tuned. Let's go, loser.
Action.